What's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing video on the JPT 60W Mopa fiber laser from Richard Zhang over at OMG Laser. I will put his information in the description below, so sit back and relax and enjoy this video. Alright guys, first things first, I want to go over some of the things that are in that crate, what comes in the package that I purchased, and then some of the additional items. 60W JPT Mopa M7 laser, that's the unit itself. It comes with the EasyCAD 2 software, so you don't have to purchase that. 3 lenses, 1, 2, and 300mm. You can purchase additional lenses from him, and I will explain what those do in a later video if you don't quite understand yet. It also comes with a chuck rotary, which allows you to place tumblers or other round items, or if you have a jig that allows you to rotate your objects as you're lasering them. And once again, I'll explain all that stuff in later videos. I did purchase a 2D table, which is really nice. We'll see that a little bit later. Some of the other things that are in there is he includes protective glasses, testing cards, and a foot switch. Also DHL shipping is included with the price. So a lot of people ask, how much does each machine cost? What's the breakdown? Well, you have to get a hold of Richard and tell him exactly what you're looking to do, what type of machine you're looking at buying, what the best option for you is, and then how much the additional stuff costs. He does have a lot of things on his website that are additional items you can purchase. I would recommend you purchase everything at once so he can just ship it in the crate. Kudos for whoever packages these things up, because they're very sturdy, very easy to move around. If you have a forklift, or 2 guys can actually carry this if you're, if you're strong enough to lift it up. I would not recommend you moving this by yourself, because it is pretty heavy. And I will show you here the lid. Super easy. This was pretty much taped down and everything's nailed and screwed. However, to open up the lid, you just undo this latch and the lid comes open. A little smiley face there. Thanks, Richard. So the laser and all the components are carefully wrapped up inside of this crate, and just make sure that this stays upright. You don't tilt it or turn it upside down, because you could damage the laser. So another thing to mention is, if you're using a utility knife, which I have one here, if you're using a utility knife, don't just go stabbing and scoring and taking. Very carefully cut this apart, because you don't want to scratch up the laser surface that's down underneath everything here, or you don't want to put scratches on the outside of the unit. Alright, now I got most of the packing cut away and pulled out. You can see how neat everything's packed in there, still foam down there. Now, I would not recommend you pull this out by this head up here. I would recommend you undo the box around it and slide it out. So I'm just using this stainless steel pry bar, and I'm prying away these staples here off the side, and then once I get everything apart, I'll remove the laser unit out. Once you pry the side off, it basically just folds down, and then you can remove the laser and all the components. There's some boxes in there with stuff. Let's check out what's all in there. Now that everything's out of the crate and on the floor, we have the main power unit, the laser head, and the bed. There's a fairly long cable between the two. I will be putting this on the table next to the unit so the controls are easily accessible. There's also 3 boxes, which we're going to open next. Alright, first up is the chuck rotary. This is a really heavy duty unit, and obviously it's used to rotate items on here as you're lasering them. I do have a jig for this already for doing business cards. So yeah, that's the first item. Alright, next up is this really well built 2D table, which allows you to move this top unit in very small increments on the X and Y axis. This is a very well built, phenomenal piece. So essentially what this is for is, if you're just using this bed down here and you have pins or screws in here holding your piece, but you need to make very small adjustments or move it in smaller increments, you can accomplish that with this. So essentially, even if you mount something in these in these little holes, you can still make the adjustments in between, and by turning this. And then there's also a lock here. These are pretty cool. I'll do a review on most of this stuff and how to set it up. Alright, next is this 200mm spacer. I don't have this together completely, it's just kind of sitting there, but this unit here sits at this base, and then this gets mounted on top, so this can sit 200 millimeters higher. So, and essentially all that does is it allows you to you can use a bigger lens which needs a higher focus distance, so it spaces this entire head up higher. Very well built. It looks very precisely made. Alright, I can already tell this next box is going to be my favorite. So you have these positioning blocks. I got some extra ones from Richard because I'll be doing a lot of different projects, and essentially you can put these in on your table here, and then they adjust left and right, and you can position things on here to hold your items, so you don't have to keep refocusing or moving stuff around on the bed. So you know you got something that's square or whatever, you can just set it where you have your lens focused, and then just keep putting the pieces in. I really do like these. Once again, very nice quality, nicely built. Another thing that's in here, he sent along some black business cards. Looks like a whole pack of them, I don't know, 100 or something like that, and that's pretty cool. Thank you for that, sir. Check this out. This is funny. Looks like a foam stress ball or something. Has absolutely nothing to do with the laser, but so freaking cool. I get excited like a little kid, so I get to play with this. Whee! Next up, we have some safety glasses. Just make sure that you read instructions and understand how each pair of glasses that you may purchase can help save your vision. Essentially, this one tells you that can protect at these different wavelengths and what the rating is. It's very important that you wear these, especially with a fiber laser. You don't want to have problems with your eyeballs. Here we've got a foot switch. Take this out of the box here. This is for the machine. Little baby's foot switch right there. What else do we got? Looks like USB cable to hook up a laptop. Here's a really nice laser engraved business card from Richard. So if you guys want his info, I'll have it in description below, and also it's right here. These next two boxes are the extra lenses. So one is already mounted to this head, and two of them come in these boxes here. A power cable for the unit, a really nice set of Allen wrenches from Seda, and last but not least, we have the Kingston USB drive. This does have the EasyCAD 2 software installed on it, so that's the last little piece of the puzzle that we need before we get this puppy up and running. Alright, there you have it, guys. Everything's out of the crate. Everything was individually unboxed. I try to explain as much as I could without hooking it up. So in the next video, I will be explaining how to set everything up, all the software installation and settings, so you can get your laser up and running. Thanks again, Richard.